So I saw this lady lamenting on social media on TikTok about how her husband's family abandoned her and her three kids after the buying of the husband. Even her own family self, everybody abandoned her to her fate with three kids. And I went through that woman's page. I realized that, in fact, almost all the posts she's making is about crying and lamenting about her husband. I don't want to be emotional here. The thing is really touching me. It's really touchy. You understand? So I went through her page. I saw her crying almost everywhere with her three kids. You understand? And now the husband's relatives, they are not asking. According to her, she said this is many years now the man died, and no one has asked her how she's taking care of the kids, how she's faring with the children, and all that. And this brings me to some things that men used to do. You know, sometimes, if it is going to be possible for some people to buy for some months, then come back, you will realize that those people you trusted so much, those people you betrayed your wife for, they don't deserve it. They are not worth it. Those people you abandoned, you disrespected your wife because of, they are not representing you now. Everything bounces back to your wife and children when you are no more. How I wish that some people will just buy and come back. Then you will now make in fact, you now know how to take your own decision and how to set your wife up, how to set your children up. A lot of our people are fond of this. We don't trust the woman we married. We don't trust our wives. Some of our men prefer to trust an outsider than their wives. They open up to an outsider than their wives. They value outsiders than their wife, your immediate family. You prefer an extended family to your immediate family. A lot of our men are making these mistakes. Then if something happens suddenly, those people you trusted so much will just turn their back. They will focus, they will move on with their lives. Everything will still bounce back to that same woman you never trusted. Everything will bounce back to that same woman you never respected. Everything will bounce back to that woman you never valued. Because that woman is still the only one that is going to maintain your lineage. She's the only one that is going to maintain your legacy. She's the only one that will be suffering to take care of your kids. She's the only one that will be suffering to provide for your children, send them to school, provide shelter, accommodation, everything. Those ones you loved, those ones you valued, will all turn their back. I wept this morning watching that woman's video. I was like, oh yeah, that's it. There's no two ways about it. A lot of men do this. They put their extended families first before their immediate family. And if something happens, we are not praying for men to always die. My prayer is that every man should be alive. But buying is inevitable. It's something that must happen. And most times, we have plenty widows here and there. God knows why it is always like that. But if you check, we have lots and lots of widows all over. These widows will be struggling to take care of their kids. Most times, people will change next of kin. Use your brothers as next of kin, making life unbearable, difficult for your own children. Next of kin will take everything that belongs to you and move. Your children will come and be struggling because you don't trust their mother. Let us change our mindsets. After your departure, your children suffers. After your departure, your wife struggles so much to maintain your legacy. Look at it in this direction. Trust your wife for 1 minute. Trust your own for a minute. I am not saying you shouldn't relate, or you should not trust your extended family, or you should not value them. You should value them. But there should be limitation. Set your wife up. Value her for once. Because at the end of the day, when the chips are down, she's still the one going to carry the burden. Everything will bounce back. Everything. Do you know? I cried this morning because that woman, oh my God, her page was what made me to make this video. Try and set your wife up.